What if I told you that scaling past 100K per month with ads isn't just about spending more, but using 3 game-changing ad types? After analyzing over 1,200 high-performing ads for direct-to-consumer brands, we've cracked a repeatable system that our brands use to scale past 100K per month. And the best part is that most brands still haven't figured this out yet. But before we dive in, this video isn't for everyone. So if you're not serious about scaling, then click away now, because I'm on a mission to help 1,000 brand owners hit 100K per month. And today, I'm giving you the exact framework to make it happen. So everyone says just make great ads or make ads that don't look like ads. But let's be real, great is subjective. What if there was a scientifically proven way to structure ads that consistently convert across different industries? Because while most marketers waste thousands testing random ad formats, we've discovered that 3 specific ad types convert across any niche. And this is what separates these brands that burn cash from those that scale profitably. And the first thing you need to do is think of your ads like a 3-legged stool. And each leg is designed to speak to different customer pains and desires and different stages of your funnel. Most brands only focus on one leg and then wonder why they can't scale. But when you have all 3 ad types working together, it's literally like flipping a switch inside of your ad account. I've tested this framework across dozens of brands, and every time it leads to explosive growth. Here's how it works. So the first thing that we need to do is to understand exactly how do we make high converting ads. So the first thing that we need to do is understand how do we make high performing ads. And realistically, when we're thinking about video ads in particular, we can break those down into 3 parts and then break those down even further. So a typical video ad will have a hook, a body, and a call to action. Those are the 3 main parts that drive performance in a video. You can think about your hook is how many people you can actually get to stop and watch your video. Your body is where you actually educate, deliver value, and entertain. And then your call to action is where you get them to go through to your website. What we've found when we're coming up with different ad types is that they can be broken down even further into these little ad blocks. Now, not every single ad that you make is going to contain every single one of these ad blocks, but what we've found is that these are the highest converting elements in any ad that we make. So you can break down, obviously you have your hook, which is the first 3 seconds, but breaking down the body of your ad would contain problem. So what problem are you trying to solve, or what problem does your customers currently have? Agitating that problem or that pain, and then introducing your product and showing it why it's the solution to their problem, and then stacking feature and benefit after feature and benefit. So it's really important to make sure that any feature that we have, we are backing it up with a benefit, showing any results or transformations, so backing up any claims that we're making in our ads with real proof and authority, and showing how many people are actually using our products, introducing some sort of offer, whether that is a free shipping discount or a free gift with purchase, and then having a clear call to action at the end. So not every single video is going to be this long and have this many blocks in it, but what we can do is we can change these around, move these around, remove blocks to make videos shorter or longer, and then we can actually go back in and test different iterations of each of these blocks. So the 3 ad types that we're about to run through, it's really important to remember that whenever you're testing different ad creatives, everything comes back to this. So these 3 ad types, when we're going away and creating different types of ads or trying to come up with new concepts or new iterations to test, we can always come back to these blocks and test new variations based on these. So when we're thinking about these different ad types and also the 3-legged stool approach, we might have one ad angle, okay? So this ad angle is speaking to a specific ideal customer profile or a specific pain point or a specific demographic in our target market. It's important to think, okay, if we have one ad idea that we're coming up with, what is the concept? So we're going to get into that in just a moment, and it'll make a lot more sense. But with each concept, you might have 3 different hooks, and that would create 3 different variations. Then we can go back and look at our ad blocks and then use this hook, and then perhaps we change out the social proof or the pain point or the feature or the benefit that we're using to create new variations of these ads. And that is really how you can turn one winning ad into 10 with slight variations. Biggest mistake that I see is brands will take a winning ad and instead of just iterating on one small change or one small variable, they'll go and create a completely different ad and then wonder why it doesn't convert the same. So taking this approach, when we're thinking about any ad angle or any ad creative idea that we're making, we have different concepts, and then within those concepts, we have hooks and then different variations based on those blocks. And a perfect example of this is for one of our brands that we work with, we have 3 different ad angles. We have an AI, UGC, we have a 3 reasons why, and then we have a mashup. So each of these are speaking to different stages of the customer journey. And perfect example is the frequency and the amount spent on these 3 different ad types. The first ad type is storytelling ads. So these ads are your brand's secret weapon because while competitors push boring feature lists, these ads humanize your brand and build trust instantly. These could be founder story ads, customer interviews, or podcast style ads because people forget products, but they remember stories. And this is a great example here of a podcast style ad delivered in the storytelling format. So again, it feels very native to what people are used to watching and consuming on their feeds and in their day-to-day lives. It doesn't look like an ad at all, but it's delivered through a storytelling format. Another interesting concept is the street interview ad. So you've probably seen these all over your organic feed, all over TikTok, all over Instagram. But again, they're very native. They don't feel like they're supposed to interrupt people while they're scrolling, but it is an ad. And these ads can be very engaging, especially when you're trying to prospect new customers because they are so native and they don't feel like an ad, but they're still delivered in a storytelling format. And last but not least is the founder story ad. So this is one of my personal favorites that we try and get brands to create. It really puts a face and a personality and a human behind the brand, and people can really start to buy into the story and the why brands are created. Here's how to craft a killer storytelling ad. So start with a struggle. What personal problem or conflict led to you creating your product or creating the brand? Next, show transformation. How did your product change your life or change the lives of your customers? Use customer testimonials and let others validate these claims. It's one thing to say something, but it's another thing to back it up and show proof and lots of proof and claims, lots of proof to validate your claims. So again, these can all be done through these types of ads. With the podcast style, you might be told from the point of view of a customer. With the founder story ad, it's about a personal journey and then seeing the transformation of your customers and how it's inspired you to continue to do what you're doing. With street interviews, it's more candid. You're pulling people in and getting their genuine reactions to how products are helping them in their day-to-day lives. And always end with a bold call to action and make it impossible to ignore. So that's how we're going to get people to click from the ad through to our website. Next is the comparison ad. Comparison ad is where you can really dominate because people need contrast and anchoring to make decisions. That's why us versus them or old way versus new way ads convert like crazy because it allows customers to anchor your product to their current situation and creates conflict in their purchasing decision. Here are 2 examples of how you can craft high converting comparison ads. So first is the us versus them. So this you can think of is like us versus our competitors or us versus another brand or product. You can see here that in this example, they're clearly calling out competitor products or inferior products and showing how they are better in terms of their benefits and specific features, as well as having a very clear tagline and very clear pain point that they're calling out in the headline as well. The other example is old way versus new way. So I personally love these ads because it really highlights how brands are disruptive in their own industries. For example, with Bloom, their lattes include superfoods, naturally sweet, don't cause jitters and are crash free, and it also shows the cost savings compared to the traditional coffee as an example. So here's the winning formula for creating high converting comparison ads. First, expose the problem. What's frustrating about the alternative? Then you need to position yourself as the hero and show your product eliminating pain points. Use side-by-side proof and visuals that make the difference undeniable and end with a value-packed offer to make switching from the old or the competitor a no-brainer for your customers. Last is the product demo ad. So you can think of these as your traditional UGC ads, but these eliminate any hesitation your customers might have because customers have objections and this ad crushes them before they stop a purchase. In this example here, you can see how to restore thinning hair volume. In this example here, you can see that they have gone with the objection of how to restore volume in thinning hair. So obviously their customers might have objections around how to apply it, or if they use other products and it has caused thinning hair before. They go in and they really highlight the pain points and show that how their product is different to competitors or other products that their customers might be using at the same time. So here's how to create a winning product demo ad. First is list the top 3 objections that your customers might have. What holds people back? Is it price? Is it trust? Is it complexity of how to use your product? Show the product solving each of these in real time and make it obvious. I would recommend starting with one objection or one hesitation that your customers might have and addressing that in each video. Next, you need to highlight the specific features that matter most. No fluff and real benefits. Really honing in on those objections and hesitations that your customers might have. And last is to end with urgency and social proof. So urgency could be really driving people who are at the bottom stages of your funnel or people who have visited your website before and making sure that we're pushing them through to purchase with our specific offer and showing it with social proof as well. With all of these ad types, however, it's always about testing different messaging and exact formats. Your founder story ad could be a green screen or interview style, and comparison ads could be a video or they could be a static. That's why it's important to always come back to our ad angles and coming up with different concepts, different hooks, and different variations based on our ad blocks. Right now, almost no one is running ads like this. But as soon as marketers catch on, your ad costs will skyrocket and you have only a small window of opportunity. So I put together a completely free guide with ad templates you can swipe, and you can get the link in the description. No email, no payment, just pure value. And if you got value from this, subscribe, like this video, and drop a comment. If you want me to personally break down your ads, drop a comment below and I'll pick someone on the next video.